Red Alert 2 World Series action coming at you here in the Pro Division. We got a best of 5. This is our fifth place finals down here in the Participation Panda Cup. Both these guys losing out in their first game, winning their way through the loser division. We're going to give them a $15 prize. We might let them take home the Panda as well. I got a couple killers in here. We got Root the Reaper in red out of Finland on the left side, and we got Legend the God of Thunder in yellow out of Jordan on the right side. Any of you guys here on Twitch, you guys just watched Legend get steamrolled by Marco 3-0 in the first round of the Red Alert 2 tournament. So yeah, hopefully Legend is nice and warmed up now. If you guys are on YouTube, you're just catching the highlights, so you guys don't know. You guys don't know that Legend just got the floor mopped with his face. Wait, the floor mopped with his face? No, his face mopped the floor. Wait, I'm messing this up. Okay, so early action down here on the bottom side. If you guys aren't familiar with this map, the airport does give a Tesla Trooper paradrop, which is very advantageous early game. So you often do see this early action down here. Of course, on the island, there's a crate. That crate gives a Tesla tank that deploys into a Tesla tower. You're saying, Iver, that's silly. Iver, that doesn't make sense. Iver, I hate it. That's okay. Bear with me. You'll learn to love it. So, of course, this is Blitz action, so we got the players building oils. There's no ore on the map. That's really it. You build oils instead of ore, and it's a little bit faster paced. And, of course, the map's nice and small. Is that it? There's a few other things as well. Anyway, Root, like I said, Root's the name that people need to get familiar with. Everyone knows Legend. Everyone knows Marco. Root's the new kid on the block, man. He's been going off this month in all different game modes, both Blitz and Red Alert 2. Playing 2v2s, playing 1v1s, putting up points against the best players in the world. So Root's on a rampage right now. If he continues his current trajectory, yeah, he'll be in that list of the top very, very soon. So Blitz specifically, we've talked about it before. Legend doesn't play much Blitz. He comes in here and he relies on his skill set of his traditional knowledge of the game. But he oftentimes does make those kind of Blitz mistakes that you expect from a player who doesn't spend a lot of time playing Blitz quick match. He builds his oils sometimes off that can chain react, things like that. He's usually not very aware of the map. Of course, it usually doesn't matter because, again, Legend, one of the best players in the world. So Root, we'll see if Root can use Root. Of course, more Blitz knowledge, more Blitz experience. Legend, stronger traditional knowledge, stronger traditional experience. We'll see if Root can leverage what he's got here. He does take a War Factory lead. Legend now catching up 3-3. Root going to split the map now. It looks a little bit of a three-way split here. Root's going to get in and grab the Sparky unit as well. He does get down. Did he grab something on the bottom side? I'm not sure if he got that oil on the bottom side. I don't think he did. The bottom, yeah, you can definitely gut shot if players are focusing too much on the bottom. I do think if your opponent gets the airport, you do have to make a move on it, especially that first paradrop early on. The Tesla Troopers can actually be pretty strong. So, and look at Legend just rolling through here, doing what he does best. Soviet versus Soviet, going to just leverage his superior tank experience there and roll through the good old-fashioned way. Point number 2 now, so Allied versus Allied. That first point, that's where you really expect Legend to kind of roll through. Because you can, like I said, you can kind of rely on that traditional skill set, your knowledge of the original game. Use your rhinos the way that you normally would, basically. So Legend pretty comfortable there, SVS. But now we do have forced factions here. So over to AVA, we'll see if Root can, see if Root can pull something out here. Now, AVA and then the AVS mashups and Blitz, they're very interesting to see at the top level. They play very differently than at the lower divisions, and the meta does slowly shift. It is still, it's still developing, right? So Blitz has really only been played at a hyper-competitive level now for like 6 months, I guess. I mean, this is our 15th month. This is our 15th month playing Blitz, but I feel like the first 6 or 7 really, the players, I don't know, hard to say. I feel like more in the last 6 months, especially the AVA meta has changed a little bit. We are seeing, it used to be kind of more of a race for Eagles. Now you see some players delay. They'll go heavy economy, heavy anti-air to prevent the opponent's Eagles, and then delay their Eagles. We've seen Kian kind of mess with that a little bit. The Sniper IFV, and this is kind of fun. AVA, the IFVs are a little bit more, we see some players open GGI IFVs, GI IFVs, Sniper IFVs. So there is a few different viable options, particularly AVA. AVS, you have to be a little bit more careful, just because if you do too much wacky stuff, the rhinos can be on your doorstep. But the Grizzlies and low body counts are such of a minimal threat. You can get away with defending on pillboxes and things like that. So you can afford to put yourself slightly behind in numbers. First offensive paradrop here from Root. Root also has this barracks on the bottom side, so Root might be making a move here to grab that Tesla Trooper paradrop on the bottom. He needs to get an engineer and a GGI to take down the fence. A couple GIs do get through that paradrop, not going to get any value though. And this map, so this little DMZ zone here, you can't build into this area, but there is a nice little advantage. If you can posture up in here, you do get a higher ground advantage. This is about 3 cells higher than flat ground. 1, 2, wait. Oh, it's only 1 cell higher. So you do get a little bit of a range advantage. Rocky's on the bottom side trying to pull Legend out of position. I like this from Root, little 1-2 punch. He pulls Legend's anti-air to the bottom. He gets the Eagles in on the backside. And just like that, Root gets up on the AVA battle. The primary battle, of course, which is the AFCs. Now, the AFCs, you get those 3 Eagles, you hit your opponent's AFC, and you prevent the AFC tech at all costs. Now, Legend has to be considering trying to go double AFC, possibly. He knows he's going to get another group of Eagles coming, but Legend can micro. Legend can use his Rockies and his IFVs. You know, all 3 Eagles have to get their bombs down, and I like that Sparky right in the DMZ zone doing work. Yeah, and that Sparky going to make a huge difference here. So, again, that's the Easter egg on this map, is that Tesla tower that comes out and turns into a Tesla coil. Yeah, it's actually, that unit's played pretty well. You know, I always want to do something kind of funny each month with the new map, but I can't do anything like too crazy. Like if I'm like, yo, Marco, you want to come play my new map? There's a tank that turns into an iron curtain. Like, Marco's not going to do that. Root now rolling through now, pretty much uncontested in this position. That's going to be GG's. And honestly, Sparky kind of opened that one up, but Root was able to get ahead. He got ahead with the Eagles. I mean, he just did everything a little bit faster, a little bit better. And yeah, Legend falling behind here. So nothing else for Legend to do. Legend going to quit out. Root on the board. All right, so now Allied versus Soviet. Now Allied versus Soviet. So it is 1-1, best of 5. So now this is where it gets a little interesting. Legend. So we call this the Legend meta in Blitz. Theoretically, you do not have to win any games as Allied. If you win SVS, you lose AVA. You win your SVA, you lose your AVS. And then in the 5th, in the match point, you pick Soviet again. So the Legend meta is basically you just lose all your Allied games, you win all your Soviet games, and theoretically you can win the matches. So Legend's going to go for that strategy. Now, of course, Legend has to win this point because he's very unlikely to win his Allied point. So Root, yeah, Root wants to win this one, obviously. It would put Legend in a very, very tough spot. But of course, Allied versus Soviet, this map, I'd actually like to see the stats on this. Thanks to Sneer, we have some really, really detailed stats, both on player elos now. If you guys haven't seen the new ranking system, we have an elo ranking for all Red Alert 2, Blitz, and Yuri's Revenge players. It's beautiful. You can see like where players are at, which is awesome for matchmaking and for tournament brackets. It's an incredible resource. But also we have some really cool map stats. And actually most of the newer Blitz maps are about 50-50. A little bit, most of them are slightly Soviet leaning, which is funny because obviously I get DMs all day of players saying Allied's OP, Allied's OP. But if you look at the stats, there's really no maps that favor Allied. I think maybe Yin Yang favors Allied, but there's some of the old Blitz maps that are still in quick match that are a little wackier, but the new ones are pretty even, generally Soviet leaning. I forget about this one though. I think this is Soviet leaning as well. I forget though. I forget. The gap generator. Wait, what other defensive structure can you build off of? Oh, the Psychic Tower. You can build off the Psychic Tower? Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, you can build off the gap generators, but we actually removed that feature. So normal defensive structures, you can't like walk them. The exceptions are the gap generator and the Psychic Tower, which I didn't know. But the gap generator, we actually turned that feature off to prevent players. In Blitz, I oftentimes set up maps where I don't want players to build through certain areas, and the gap generator makes that really annoying. So in Blitz, you can't build off the gap generator either. Little fun fact for you guys who want to get under the hood and understand the inner workings of Blitz. So Root over to early Battle Lab tech, and Legend has not gotten any value to be at this point in the game. Allied rolling out tech, but actually, Root is severely out tanked here. Oh, questionable. Ooh, rough unit control there from Legend. Gets those guys strung out, loses a couple guys on the retreat. I feel like if Legend could keep these... if Legend could have maybe kept those Mirages on the move. Now, the Sniper IFV is tricky. Now, Legend is loading up a Deso Bomb. Root going to harass the power plants where he can. The Sniper IFV countering the Desos. Now, one Deso Bomb, if one Desolator gets down in the heart of these Mirages, they will all pop, and Legend will roll through this game. So Root just has to stay alive and has to counter these Desolators, which is easier said than done, particularly against a player like Legend. And I think that's oftentimes why Soviet versus Allied in the lower divisions have a hard time if they reach Battle Lab tech, because pulling off a good Deso Bomb against mass snipers is incredibly difficult. But Legend's the kind of player who can do it. Oh, he gets the elite IFV and goes hunting. Look how quick he did that, man. Quick on the click. You love to see it. You love to see it. The elite IFVs are nuts, man. They're so fast and they pummel buildings. So you'll see a top level player, they can use a sniper IFV, right, to go elite. And then as soon as they go elite, get the sniper out of it and just keep harassing. Keep using your speed. It's so annoying. You can't chase them down. As a Soviet player, you don't have an air unit that you can go cancel it out with. So you just constantly have to be looking over your shoulder, trying to keep track of the IFV. Very, very annoying. Kirov now for Legend. He needs to get into Battle Lab Tech. We're only at the 4-minute mark. This is a very fast-moving game here. So he does get over to Battle Lab Tech. The Kirov's out, and Root very slow to respond. Root needs to bring this elite IFV into the fight. This Kirov, oh, that Kirov getting it done. Oh, the couple Patriot missiles. I always underestimate Patriot missiles. I'm not used to the static anti-air versus Kirov. Normally players go IFVs. Wow, and doesn't lose anything there. So I take back everything I just said about that Kirov because it got nothing done. Legend continuing to be annoying with these Deathslayers, but Root just doing a really good job. Nice map awareness, not letting him get any value out of those. And again, the elite IFE. Oh, the elite IFE goes down. Very unfortunate to lose that. What are these tanks up to? Root, what are these guys doing? Root, buddy, Root. Damn, those guys chilling. Having a picnic on the radiation. You don't want to do that. Rocky's on the backside. What's he going at here? 4 Rocky split? I love that move. I mean, imagine that move with an extra 15 Rockies. Might have got something done. And now the Deathslayer's pushing in, the Mirage pushing in, the Iron Curtain. Now Root on the run, but he gets caught on this cliff edge. And does Legend just pummel here? The Deathslayers do go down. He doesn't eat too much radiation, but the Rhinos were so strong there. Legend does get to the back of Root's base. Root does have a force shield to use here. The GIs pick up a lot of chip damage. Can Root, oh, the Battle Lab goes down. That cancels out the force shield. The MCV's going with it. Root tries to go downfield with a couple Grizzlies. Not going to get much done. Root calls GG. 1 on the board for Legend. 2 on the board. All right, guys, so over to point number 4 now. So Root fighting to give us a barn burner, fighting to give the people what they want. Eagles, sell your underwear to get RA to the moon. I like that. If I could sell my underwear to get RA to the moon, you guys know I would do it. More people watching, streaming, playing Red Alert 2. It's really as simple as that. My intentions are pretty easy around here. You guys know how it goes. Quick reminder, if you guys do want to join the fun, if you want to come play, you want to join the tournaments, redalert2.com. That's the place to be. Tattoo it on your forehead. Tell your friends, tell your family. You can download and play the game. You can sign up for the tournament. You can join the Discord to connect with the community, talk shit, get in on the drama, make memes, all sorts of stuff. Ask questions, preferably, because I'm sure you'll have issues downloading the game. It's a little bit tricky sometimes. It's not that tricky. Don't get discouraged. Downloading the game's easy for most people. Anyway, redalert2.com. Again, guys, last week of every month is the sign-up. First week of every month, we start the tournaments. The tournaments run throughout the month. You schedule the games at your own pace. We have divisions for all skill levels. All skill levels. You're saying, Iver, I haven't played in 15 years. I'm like, yo, there's 20 of you. There's 20 of you who have already said that to me today. Everyone come join. Teamwork makes the dream work. We also need more streamers. If you want to come stream, even if you don't know what you're doing, we have tons and tons of games right now. I can't stream them all. So if you do want to get into streaming, it's never been easier. I mean, a hard thing streaming early on when you want to get into streaming is having content to stream. And, you know, right now in my Discord, there's just a list of games. You can go in there, grab any game you want, stream it. And even if you don't do good, it's like a bad streamer is better than no streamer. So if you guys want to get into streaming, let me know on Discord as well. We're looking for more streamers. All right, so Root coming in with the early Rhino pressure here. Legend just going to try to turtle. Legend just going to try to slow this one down, build right up to this edge here, try to get as much value as he can out of his pillboxes. Root, I'm surprised not see Root bring a bit of fodder, and he has 3 dogs back here as well. And Legend has a lot. Oh, the sniper IFE. Sniper IFEs from Root, or from Legend, very heads-up move here to not allow Root to get any fodder in the fight, which is nice. Legend bringing out Rockies. So Rockies before Eagles. We've been seeing this a little bit more at the top level. Delaying those early Eagles just because they can be a little bit expensive, stress out your economy, going for the Rockies instead. Root going to come down to unit control here. There's so much fodder in this group. It can get tricky. Root splitting. Is this a split from Root? A 2-tank split? Root goes on the backside with 2 tanks going hunting. The 2-tank split is so tricky. It takes so long for 2 tanks to destroy an MCV. Your opponent basically has to fall asleep at the wheel. A 4-tank split I love. As I say that, who am I to question the Reaper? Because he gets it done with 2 tanks. 2-tank split. Now Root just has to hold off the counterpunch. He's going to grab the Sparky unit, which can actually be quite valuable. Now Legend's going to send it downfield. If Root can hold the line here, he can win this game. He's up an MCV at the 3-minute mark, which should be a winning condition, but of course it all depends on his ability to withstand this counterpunch. Those Grizzlies are going to melt. Plenty of Rhinos in the group here. Sentry Gun's out to hold, and Legend quits out. And just like that, boys, do you smell it? Do you smell it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it, boys? Here we go, boys. Grab your matches, grab your bottle of gasoline. We're burning the barn, boys. Match point. Legend, the God of Thunder, Root, the Reaper. Oh my God. I can feel it, boys. I can feel it. These guys going to put on a show for us. Root, these guys are choosing their own factions. Root choosing Allied after we've only seen Allied lose today. I love it. I'm not one to question the Reaper. Let's see how you guys are feeling about it. I just had you put your predictions in, not for the match, just for this single point. It's 2-2. Only 15% of you guys believe in the Reaper? Oh my God, my boy Root's about to prove you guys wrong. Of course, I never feel comfortable betting against Legend, particularly when he has Soviet, which is very, very scary to me. But you know what? Okay, here's the thing. I like this from Root. I like this from Root. I don't love Allied versus Soviet. I don't like Root playing Legend Soviet. That doesn't make me comfortable or it doesn't make me happy. However, Soviet versus Soviet, we've talked about it before. You only got two options. You mass rhinos or you push tech. And in either of those cases, I don't see a scenario where Root can reliably or confidently take down Legend. Soviet versus Soviet, that's Legend's game. That's the game he's most comfortable with. And Allied Blitz, right? There's a lot of different stuff you can do, and I think Root can leverage his increase, his advance in Blitz knowledge to maybe confuse Legend. Again, I don't think it's scary, right? I'm not super confident in Root because Legend, it's Legend, but I like the Allied versus Soviet. I think it's more likely to open up an opportunity for Legend to make a mistake, whereas SVS, it's just so straight up. You guys saw in the first point, Legend just so confident, gonna outbuild, gonna out-tank, and gonna take him down. So I like this from Root. Gonna get weird, try to put on a show for us. Root slowing things down, Pillbox is out. Legend already hunting now 3 War Factories at the 2-minute mark. You see Root using his Eagles to chip away at these Rhinos. Look how many smoking Rhinos we have. That makes a big difference, boys. A few of those Rhinos are ready to pop. The Sniper IFV from Root as well to control the fodder. I like that. And Legend might be putting himself broke here. A couple flak cannons out. This is a very, very kind of a crazy build here. Does Root have the money for pillbox support? More rhinos coming. They're going for the crown jewel behind enemy lines. If Legend dives on the MCV here, he will lose his army, which could open up a pretty serious counterpunch. Rocky's in this group getting some chip damage. There's no anti-air, no mobile anti-air from Legend. He's chipping away. A couple more rhinos pop. Root staying alive, boys. Root staying alive. You guys are saying, Iver, you're playing favorites. You can't play favorites. I'm playing favorites because I'm cheering for the underdog. You guys, I'm hyping Root up to build the hype. This Root is the underdog in this position. Look, Root built you guys see that wall? Root just threw a wall right there. You throw a wall, and then the tanks, for 1 second, all of their shots hit the wall. Pro move, boys. My boy Root firing on all cylinders. It's still looking scary. Legend's still pumping. Legend's economy's caught up with him now. 3 War Factories, plenty of static anti-air, so he doesn't have to worry about building flak tracks, which lets him focus on pumping rhinos. Sparky in the group as well, and Root needs to target that Sparky. That Sparky could be quite annoying, actually, if properly used. It's going to absorb a lot of damage on the attack. GGI's to the front line. Root pulling out all the stops. He's now on 6K. Legend on 7K. 4th War Factory now comes out for Legend. Ooh, boys. Root, and we've seen this before, the 3.5-minute mark, and Root's not getting value with his Eagles. Oh, all 4 Eagles, barracks, and gets them all home. That's actually nice. Taking the barracks, if any of you guys aren't as familiar with the game, it's going to cancel out his tech tree, so if Legend was building a War Factory, it cancels it out, which can be nice. The Sparky's getting so much damage. He's repairing it. This is so annoying, because Root doesn't want to have to dive on that Sparky, but now he's considering it. Does Root have a... Root might have a force shield that might not be juiced up yet. Oh my god, the Sparky's so annoying. He's going to bring the Eagles to cancel out the Sparky. Again, the Sparky stays alive. Legend dives on the MCV. Legend dives on the NCV. Now Root, so Root takes out his army. Legend pays in blood, but he has another wave coming, and Root with no counterpunch potential there. And a very, very nice read from Legend. You know, diving on the MCV like that, paying your army. We see it all the time, right? Players come downfield and lose the game right after the MCV move. However, in this case, Legend knew he had reinforcements coming, and he knew Root didn't have any counterpunch potential. So very, very nice play there from Legend. Root still producing Battle Lab tanks, but he's on 1 War Factory, no AFC. Very unfortunate position, and Legend just chopping down the production. Takes the AFC, takes the barracks. Now comfortable pulling back in this position. He kind of forces Root's hand here. Root's got to go full send, right? If he had the barracks and the AFC, I don't know. If you had the barracks, I mean, you're up against 5 War Factories. You're up against one of the best Soviet players in the world with a war machine behind him, you know, pumping on 5 War Factories. You can't really delay here because, you know, 1 Mirage to 1 Rhino, that's good. 1 Mirage, but it's 3 Rhinos for every 1 Mirage, so that's not going to work. Yeah, and I like that from Legend that he was able to take down the barracks in the AFC. We've seen these positions play out very differently. If the allied player right now was pumping GIs and snipers, you know, if he had the AFC, if he had the Eagles, things like that can swing. But this position's just so tough. Yep, and Legend, yeah, Legend, no reason to push this one. So needs to keep that sniper alive. So this is Root's last sniper. Root's last sniper. Very unfortunate position. Root, yeah, does the equation, knows there's no way out of that one, and Legend taking it home. Wow, okay, so, hey, quite the game there, and like I said, that's the Legend meta, right? He loses all of his allied points, uh, but wins his Soviet ones. Like, Legend, it's funny, you're like, yeah, the Pro Division forces the players to play both factions. Not really, right? You can literally just win. If you never lose your Soviet points, you don't have to win your allied points.
Here, hold